Wow, can we touch on that a bit? Because I feel like
Yeah,
there's, especially when it comes to individuals that aren't maybe working on the same level, it's hard for them to understand that it's like, yes, it might be my birthday today, but guess what? It's just another day to me, and it's like I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep working. I'm just gonna keep chugging through this.
I love life. And for me, life is about experiencing and life is about doing. I'm living my life's work. I don't see me having the need to stop. I don't see me having the need to have a break. And I understand that that's somebody else's truth, but I can't tell you how often I've heard like, hey, listen, like, yo, you need to take a break or you need to slow down. The reality is, right, for most people, if you work
Yeah,
8 hours a day, right, you guys spend some time after those 8 hours, you know, doing something to build your life. You
absolutely.
can't just give 8 hours away to someone else's life and then not give to yours. Unless you guys are that 8 hours you're giving it to something that aligns with your vision and mission and something that aligns with your dreams, and then that makes sense.
Sure.
But you gotta do a little bit more. And I've studied what successful people do. But I'm also a little crazy. I've also studied what unsuccessful people do.
But there's a lot of gems in that.
So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna do when I hear unsuccessful habits trying to be thrown on me? Am I gonna do that? No, I can't because I know that that's not the way.
Right.
I know the way. I study the successful people, and as I do that, the world around me keeps growing. You know, I the same way I don't expect anyone to have to think the way I do. You know, I also ask for people to not think I have to think the way they do. Because I'm very conscious. I'm always paying attention. And when you pay attention like me, you really know what works and what doesn't. And I'm not a repeat offender. You know, it one time. I make a mistake one time. That's I grow fast.
Yeah.
From one mistake, I grow fast, like exponentially. When I make a mistake, when I fail at something, my speed of growth is like whoosh, like a shooting star.
Right. And why? What's the hurry in learning from it quickly for you?
There's no hurry. I just love to learn.
Okay.
I love to learn.
Right.
And when you're winning, when you're constantly correct, right? There's not a lot of learning there.
Yeah.
But when you make a mistake, right? It's not for me. It's not like oh man, like oh wow, I can't believe I did that. For me, it's like oh man, I see it. Like all right, so this is what I gotta do. All right, I gotta change this up. I gotta do this. All right, let me go get over there. Like it's an excitement because now I can see more.
Right.
But most people, right? They're so afraid of making a mistake. They're so afraid of doing something wrong. You only really grow by risking things. You only really grow by shooting your shot. You know, like you learn by doing.
Yeah.
If I wait to have the perfect plan, I'll never do it.
This would have never started if you were waiting on the perfect plan.
You can't. You just gotta go. Go.
Yeah.
And that's the way life works. Just go experience it. Harness life. Life is gonna give you an abundance of opportunities. It's just about what you want to do. You know, but are you paying attention to the potential of all the possibilities around you? Attention, potential, and possibilities. Those are three important words. You put them together and you'll find nothing but abundance. You'll be able to see so much more and understand that what you see is not all there is. And the only way that you can expand on that is to go into the world and go see more.
Yeah.
Because the whole purpose of life is to see it all. You know, a perfect example, right? I can go to Rome and I can go look at everything that's there, right? And I can see it, right, firsthand. Or I can study Rome for a year through the history books. I can learn about Octavius. I can learn about Caesar. I can learn about every single building, the architecture, right? And now when I go see Rome in person, I actually know where I am because I can see more. I prepare to see more.
Right, right.
But how often do people go see things and they don't even know what they're looking at? They're seeing it.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. They just see it on the surface level. I love to see into the depth of everything.
Right.
You know,
Sounds
I can see perfect analogy we could use, right? I can see as far as the pond,
Okay.
or I can see as far as the lake, or I can choose to see the whole ocean.
Yeah. And the ocean is very vast. That's big.
And that's where it is. You know, most people don't prepare. What happens when you prepare?
Yeah.
What happens, you know, we're going to do this pep rally on Monday. You think I didn't go see what other schools were doing for pep rallies?
Nice. And so, what was the usefulness in that for you?
That I know that we are some overachievers because what I'm planning for them is I'm really taking the time. I'm really perfecting it. You know, it's not just going through the motions for us. For us, is we are putting on a showcase of experience to expand these kids so they can gravitate to more in life.
Yeah, and that's important, especially for those kids that, sometimes it feels almost as though they have no hope or little to none in the environments that they come up in. Much different than the environments that sometimes we have around us, but that's the reality of the world. And more importantly, that's the reality of their life, you know.
So think about what they're going to be able to access in their memory because of that day.
Yeah. Yeah, you're giving a lot to them to be able to reflect on and like hope for, because you were explaining it earlier. It's like, man, they're going to be able to see in real life a model of excitement, enthusiasm, where sometimes they probably don't see that.
Well, that's it. It's exposure. We become what we're exposed to. If I can read about greatness, I can see greatness on TV, but there's nothing like seeing greatness right before my eyes.
Yeah.
That experience, it changes who you are on the level of your own biology. Like there is genes inside of you that get unlocked from experiences in person. Nothing will ever trump firsthand experience. You want to collect something in your lifetime? Collect firsthand experiences. Nothing can beat that.